good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this world. My name's Jade, and this is The Interview. And today, finally, we have Dragonsail Puppets. We got Greg, we got Puppets, we got the Dragonsail Puppets. And we're kicking things off with Closing In, the show sponsored by DistroKid. Are you ready to go? Let's load, baby. Yeah! What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. Very excited today, right? I've been waiting for this for a while. Been joking about it. How did this happen? You're all doing all right out there. You know the deal. We'll say hello to you all individually as we get about 20 minutes into the show, right? Let you sit down, grab whatever it is you need to drink or whatever it is you may need to inject. I don't know. But I'll just give you a bit of backstory on how this happened. So saw Dragonsail Puppets obviously around, a bit of a fan, right? And then they went on the Community Pulse, and you know that show's really cool, but I didn't really get to find out much about Dragonsail Puppets, so I've got to get them on the show, get Greg on here. Now, I need to cover a bit of business here, of course, because that is the nature of things. The show today is actually sponsored by our dear friends at DistroKid. You can release your music, yes, you release your music on all of the streaming services like Spotify, Apple Music, and all of those wonderful places. Some of them I'd have never even heard of for the very low price of $24.99 annually, 1 year. And if you use my code code that is up the top, pinned in the description below, or if Thomas has put it in the chat, distrokid.com/VIP/Jade, you'll get 7% off your first year. There are 3 tiers. You can go by the musician's plan. You get 1 artist, and you can release as many songs, as many albums as you like each and every year. You can add lyrics to it, Spotify registered profile check mark. You can split your money with people you collaborate with, and you get a whole bunch of promotional tools and a mobile app that you can use on Android and iOS to upload your songs. There's another plan, Musicians Plus, pretty much the same deal. You get 2 artists and a few little extra things down the bottom, or be greedy guts like me and use the ultimate plan because I've got too many bands. I've got too many, and that is $89.99 billed annually. DistroKid have been amazing sponsors of this show, and I've been using them way before they sponsored here, and are very happy with their service. I think I joined up with them in about 2016, way before they even knew who I was. So once again, thank you, DistroKid, for sponsoring the show. You know the deal, everybody. I love you, DistroKid. I love you. I love you. I love you. There we go. I'm a bit of a lunatic. So, are you good? Are you all pumped? You're all excited? I am. Are we ready to go? So, I first saw this artist and was like, what the is going on? What is happening here? And I like that, right? Whenever I see something that makes me go, you know what, that's a head scratcher. To me, I thought I was watching Frank Zappa and Peter Jackson's second film, Meet the Feebles. That's what I thought was going on. If you've seen Meet the Feebles, you know, right? It's a puppet show full of debaucherous stuff. But there's so much more to this, and I wanted to find out who this artist is. Dragonsail Puppets is the artist. Greg is the man behind all of this, and we're going to find out so much more today. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, tables and chairs, pull down your undies and show us your hairs. We're going to bring on Greg. Are you ready? Let's do it. Yeah, welcome, Dragonsail Puppets. Greg, how are you?
I'm good, Jade. How are you?
I'm hyper. I'm so excited to have you.
You got your coffee. You're ready to go.
I know. So, firstly, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. I'm so excited to find out more about the puppets and how they're made and all this kind of stuff. But the first question I want to ask everybody who comes on this show, what does music actually mean to you?
Music, what does it mean to me? It's my main means of expression. I've always been creative. I've always written, I've painted, I've drawn, all that sort of thing. But music has always been like, it's been the primal part of me. And it's also a way that I can get my thoughts out because I'm also a lyric writer. So I would say it's the way I move around in the world. And it sounds a bit much, but I can't imagine not having it. I'm glad I can hear things. I'm glad I can pick up sound vibrations because just it gives life more emotional meaning, and it gives it more rhythm. It gives you more reason to be.
Has there been a time in your life where music has either picked you up out of a hole or carried you through the really good times and really pushed them even higher? Can you think of anything offhand where music has really pulled you through something?
Well, not to get too dark, but I've had crippling depression in the past, which everybody has something, but I've had been unable to function, and it definitely picked me up through that. I just think all through whatever disappointments you deal with, it's music just shows you another way of thinking, being, feeling. It's connected to our emotions, but it can also pull us out of our darker emotions. It's got its own life. It's connected to us, but it's also apart from us. That's why it can save us. It's not caught in the same quagmire that we are, to be really concise about it.
You hear it so much. People say, without music, I probably wouldn't be here. Music has pulled me through so many things. And in saying that too, that goes the same for things like art, drawing, filming, painting, whatever it is. Because, that's the beautiful thing, Greg, isn't it? That art can be dark and it can be confronting. Look at the Black Plague, right? When that happened. Mm-hmm. People painted so much death and destruction, but it was their way of coping while millions of people were dying.
Right. And also addressing the reality that they had to address. But it
Yes.
also helps you address it on your own terms, using the rhythm of life. I mean, talking about music again, I think it's just the fact that music has rhythm, it kind of, it, it affects me deeper than doing art, although I've loved doing art. But when I did art, I always had music going in the background to help the art process. So I think music is just fundamental. There's just something about it that affects us on a deeper rhythmic heartbeat level.
Absolutely. It is a language within itself. And even it's so funny too, sometimes I think artists, musicians dispel people who actually listen to their music and don't make music, how much it affects them on a deep level too. I've seen it a lot with like this AI music thing that's been taking off, and the division between people going, AI music sucks and all this stuff. And at the end of it, yes, that shit sucks because it's all generative, but you got to put yourself in the shoes behind the people who are making it. They're actually really just lovers of music, and they've always dreamed of making music. So there's that too, right?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I don't know enough about AI music. I haven't heard a lot that has impressed me
It's
personally.
shit. Let's say.
Yeah, but it's sort of like, well, having a YouTube show. At one time, people would say, well, it's not like you have a show on a major broadcast network. I mean, what's a YouTube channel?
Right.
But it's like what public access used to be. It's a way now of being able to be creative on your own terms, have your own show. And these people who are doing the AI music, well, they're getting about as close to something. They may not be composers or whatever, but they have this desire to make the music. And so I will give them that. I will, my only concern is,
Yes.
it's just there's so much content in the world.
Yes.
There's so much good music, there's so much bad music, and there's just content, period. And a lot of times, if you get up too much mediocrity happening, it can edge out people being able to access the finer work, the finer art out there. So that is a concern of.
It's
But I
true.
think everyone does if they feel the need to create. It does give your life more meaning to be.
Absolutely. I think my biggest concern with AI stuff is that, look, all art, music, or whatever it is derivative, right? There's only so
Mhm.
many chords in a scale and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
but we've done okay with them, right? We're still kind of getting original stuff. My biggest problem is
Yeah.
with the art and the music is that this kind of stuff pulls that stuff to try and generate from it, and then you start getting inbreeding, and soon our music's going to be like the chin weirdos from Britain, and it's all going to be inbred, and it's going to sound worse and worse because you're
Yeah.
stealing from really poor quality shit, and that's my biggest problem,
Right.
because that
Right.
happens, yeah.
It's, yeah. It's like making a mixtape of a mixtape of a mixtape, and you keep getting degenerating quality all the way down.
You summed it up much better
Yeah.
than me. Much better than me. Thankfully, we have microtonal music, it seems, which could save us from everything. So that's.
Well, I'm glad something's going to do
I hope so. I hope so. Now let's get down to when you're before you're a puppet creator, when you're a little one.
it.
Do you remember the music that was played in your household by your family growing up? Who were some of the artists that were played in your family, and did they influence you?
There was none. There was just the TV going. If there was music, I pulled it in. And at the time, I was limited in what I could listen to. So my early stuff was the Partridge Family, the
Oh, yes.
Archies. And then once we got a little loose, I could listen to Sonny and Cher and maybe some ABBA. Go when ABBA came in a little later because I'm not a young person, so all of this stuff was like happening in the early '70s. So, but I remember a song. But do you know anything about the Partridge Family's Au Vieux?
I know the Partridge Family. I grew up watching them, obviously.
There is a song called "I Can Feel Your Heartbeat,"
All right, I
which
know that.
has. Do you know that
Yes,
song?
I know
That
that
is
song.
that's their orgasm song, and because it ends, and they're just huh. And I'm thinking as a child, what the fuck is going on? But I'm into it. And there was something about that moment, hearing that song, and I had to hear it again and again. And I think it's just formed everything.
It brings new meaning
It led
to
me on to Led Zeppelin and King Crimson and everything else.
it brings new meaning to "Come on, let's get happy," doesn't it?
Yeah.
Come
Well,
on.
because it was, yeah, I liked anything that was just came out of the blue and was unexpected. It's like somehow they didn't know what they were doing, but yet that got done. And I've always been looking for that. It's like the unexpected thing. It's like when Fleetwood Mac does Never Break the Chain, or they do a wild guitar solo. And it's like, well, this is supposed to be a soft rock band. It's like, yeah, what made that so special was the fact that that wasn't supposed to be happening, kind of, because you're a soft rock band and here you're rocking out. And there's just something kind of wrong about it. If there's a little wrong bit of in the mix,
We all love a little bit of wrong. What do you think it is about ABBA, right? Because that's I put them up there with the Beatles and Elvis and that kind of stuff because there's just something about the music. Like I grew up listening to metal, and but every single person, no matter what genre of music you listen to, lyrics to at least 3 ABBA songs. What do you think it is about their music that is just transcends?
Speaking of ABBA, well, first of all, it is so polished in a good way. It's just very well executed. There was also a range of styles there. Now, I tend to like dark ABBA, if you can call it that. Like "Knowing Me, Knowing You" is my favorite song of theirs. "Summer Night City," "Man After Midnight." But I like things that have a dark. I go for the minor keys. So, once again, it's the subversive ABBA. It's like when it's like you're not supposed to sound that dark or be talking about something that sad. I like that much more than "Take a Chance on Me" or something, the catchy stuff.
True.
I'm always looking for a little bit of darkness in the light.
I'm the same way with the Beatles, right? Anything I can't handle any of the "Love Me Do." I just can't handle that shit.
No.
But as soon as it gets to the walruses and
I'm the walrus.
we get to Sergeant
She's so
Pepper's,
heavy.
things are just like, and that's where they really shone because they were able to release themselves and express themselves in so many new and interesting ways. And this is the thing, I'm going to ask you about this now too, because I think this is a good time to ask. I love, and I talk about this a lot on my channel, I love the danger that is in music, right? Because some of the biggest stars that we now, immortalize, even Madonna, just by wearing certain gloves, or Michael Jackson wearing one glove. Anybody who takes chances normally is a superstar. David Bowie, like there's so many of them that have taken risks. Purple Rain, Prince, right? Do you think, and you seem like a risk taker as well, like Frank Zappa, of course, all these great artists. Are we losing this risk? Have we become too homogenized with music these days?
I don't keep up a lot with music these days, like in terms of what's mass circulated. But I think there's this homogenization, yes, but also kind of a normalization of what appears to be subversive. It's like you have this flashy costume, you're dressed in bondage, but what does it really mean? You're just trying to sell a product here, just like everyone else all these other 19-year-olds dressed in bondage, talking about sex and their genitals and all this. Whereas, have they really had any experience in their lives whatsoever other than getting up on stage and doing what someone told them to do? So I think, that it's the commodification of the subversive, which can really ruin the art because it's just a show. It's not a real thing.
You can see through it.
You see through it. You realize it's just a game. It's a chess move. It's a way to make a little money.
Yeah, I remember when Duran Duran released Girls on Film back in the 80s and the two girls are sliding across a giant greased pole to attack each other. And people were so outraged. It's like, oh my God, and they banned that video clip. But at the same time, I didn't sit there. I never thought it was trite or contrived in any way. It was just like, no, they just wanted to make this and there was no, we're doing this to try and get banned. And these days, you're right, everything's got this oh, I see this artist, and it's like Britney, right? When she all of a sudden became a
Hmm.
slave, and it was like, I don't know, I don't see that. I see a very young artist to Disney kind of chick. You're trying to make her this way, and
Hmm.
and then I see product placement.
Yes. Oh, of course. Yeah. Here's my Pepsi while I gyrate my pussy on this.
Exactly.
It's like, yeah, yeah. The chess move thing started happening, well, really early. I don't know exactly when it did, I think, but I feel like personally, I know people love the 80s. There's stuff in the 80s that I do love, but I feel like there was a certain point when the music industry discovered what it wanted to sell, and it was no longer cool to be so experimental. But every so often, people could get something done. But it was just like, it's like we just want to make these pop artists, who look a certain way, and we'll give them a certain branding. And the music industry discovered what it wanted and what it thought it could sell, and it kept trying to put people in that mold. And I think that really started happening in the 80s a lot. The 60s and the 70s were the open door period, which is the
Yeah,
stuff I loved, but it was the open door for everything we have now that everyone got influenced by, because the music industry didn't know what it wanted yet. It didn't know what would sell yet. So you could have Frank Zappa, you could have Pink Floyd doing Adam Hart Mother, which why in God's name can that album ever be even sold today? Why was it ever made in the first place? How could
true.
you get away with that? Because it was that time period.
Yes, you couldn't release Pet Sounds now.
No,
No,
no, no.
people would be like, "What is happening?"
Well, you could do it, but it wouldn't be selling. I mean,
Yeah,
you couldn't do the equivalent of the surprise that was Pet Sounds.
true. Yeah. Just carrying on from the last question. So, have the Partridge Family influenced your current music?
No, no, not beyond. No, it's just that I can feel your heartbeat song, and there's another one that had an electric guitar in it. But I think that sort of let me see what I'm looking for in music. But no, I'm influenced by like everything from '67 to '82 is what I tend to say. Everything from the prog rock, hard rock, disco, R&B, and anything with a jazz feel to it.
Yep.
It's like any. I love King Crimson because King Crimson obviously has skilled musicians in it, Robert Fripp. But there's a like the Lizard album becomes a jazz album at a certain point, and a lot of this stuff just suddenly becomes jazz, and then it goes back to being heavy crunching sounds. So I'm looking for anything that has that kind of feel to it. I like music that's hard, music that's soft, but I always like it to have like an alternate chord or something that's a little askew.
You like to make music that at one point makes somebody go, "Huh?"
Yeah, yeah. It's like, did he mean that?
That's how I
Yeah.
used to try and describe my music. All right. Do you recall what the first album was that you purchased with your own pocket money and was given to you as a gift?
Oh, the first album, okay, we'll do the one that was given to me was, oh no, this is interesting, was there were two out there were two that happened at the same time. It was the Carpenters' Greatest Hits and the Carpenters' Horizon album
Wow.
for my aunt. Um, to this day, I still think Karen Carpenter had a great voice,
Yes,
and I will give the Carpenters their due in that they were musicians, and at least in the early days, they were a jazz band to begin with,
that's
and
true.
they had jazz chops, and of course, like ABBA, they had a way of really polishing in a good way what they did. Now, unfortunately, the music industry got a hold of them and said, okay, let's all anchor up all of this and make sure that you don't go above this level of the meter in terms of being interesting or jazzy or subversive. God help us, But
Yeah, and it became very
but there's
vanilla.
something to. Yes, exactly. But some of the Carpenter stuff. I mean, it still has more danger than a lot of what we hear today. Like the Goodbye to Love guitar solo. Hey,
I tied my shoelaces yesterday and was more dangerous than the entire music industry today.
you got to be careful doing it.
You know, at our
I
age,
do slip-ons. Yeah.
I do too. I just don't undo the laces, right?
Yeah, yeah, because I don't trust it. I really don't.
Who's got time for that shit?
But album
Yes,
that I
yes,
purchased by myself.
yes.
Okay, well, this was as subversive as I could get at the time, but I think it was the Journey Escape album and the Foreigner 4 album.
Oh wow.
Then then of course from there I got to you see with my parents I had to keep getting escalating how hard the music was that I allowed into the house. So that was a good starting point for them to hear outside of my door. Then it was all the Van Halen albums and Rush albums and uh, Pink Floyd, of course, all that stuff. Then get into weirder stuff like King Crimson or Caterpillar. I don't know if you remember
Yes.
Caterpillar.
Hmm.
Oh, you probably know all these people. You're going to know all
I'm
these
an
people. So good, I can
avant-garde
say that.
fan. I'm an avant-garde
Okay.
lover, right?
I love Anna Meek. I wish she could have done more. I wish they had done. But I was always looking for anything a little strange like that at that point. And then I discovered The Great Escape, which was our thrift store of records where I am. So I was just buying up all this stuff from my birth year, for '67 on, Jefferson Airplane, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, all of that sort of thing.
I love that.
And disco, I grew up in the disco era, like the '70s and all that. So I got to listen to Donna Summer, Bee Gees, and Casey and the Sunshine Band, and some of that still, I mean, it still resonates with me. There's really very well crafted disco, and there's shit like you get with any genre. But I got into the beat of that. The beat of that still inspires what I do. I feel like my music is like has a black soul with a white covering. It's sort of like the zero candy bars. You remember the zero candy bars
I,
they're the opposite, that they were dark on the inside and white on the outside with
yes,
the white crust. And
yes.
that's how I saw myself. I love black music. I love R&B and jazz and all that, but I liked the prog kind of covering for it. Like the concept album kind of covering.
The 70s was so interesting because you had, Led Zeppelin, you had all this prog music that was happening over here. Then you had the disco scene was so massive, right? And has pretty much shaped
Yes.
today's modern hip hop. Without that, we wouldn't have modern hip hop, what we have too. And
Oh, you're absolutely right.
but they coexisted. So like I grew up in a household where my mum listened to a lot of disco. Olivia Newton-John was played in my house to death, right? I know every song backwards. But
Well,
just saying on pushing limits with music, my dad caught me dressing up as a girl when I was young, and he was like, "You got to be a man. Don't do this ever again." And when I started, so I totally went down that path and started listening to metal and death metal, and he was just like, "I think this is a bit too much, man." It was like, well, I can't win with you, dude. What is your problem?
uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah.
But the way I chose music was to go down that extreme, anything that was like pushing boundaries, challenging people's, because that's what art is. It always has been,
Mhm.
and I'm sure you feel the same.
I do feel the same. And I always liked anything that kind of had a little bit of surprise to me. And it could be very subtle. Like, what is it? Oogie Boogie Boogie. Speaking of the disco, it's like the Taste of Honey, Boogie Oogie Oogie song or whatever. But it has this incredible bass line.
Yes.
And I can be just trapped by a bass line that's a little subversive or just interesting, like Steely Dan, FM, the kind of bass line that's very simple, but it just speaks to you the way it's put together. And anything that's outside of the formula of making a pop song, is like when you actually just let an instrument speak, a melody line speak, and control the whole song and take it in a weird direction.
Speaking of,
In any genre, I love that.
let's allow your music to speak right now. And we're going to ask for an
Okay.
explanation or anything because we're going to get to all this kind of stuff. But this is Wet Garden by Dragonsail Puppets. Now, we're playing everything today, folks, in kind of an order of material. So the earliest stuff right through to the latest stuff, just so you know. Let's play this track. Are you ready? Grab onto your ankles. Here we go. This is Wet Garden, Dragonsail Puppets. It's huge, baby.
time, or has it best? I feel this can last us through the night. This lamp will lie down in the moonlight, in the lion's den. Gardens wet, everything's set. So far it's hidden from the net. Rubble on the brush, lips are off the ground. Wind is whipping through the reeds, and seeds are ocean bound. But lava boils deep down. I don't have to hold out hope and pray that they make their way. They know the game without a play. Have we time, or are we pressed? I feel this can last us through the end of our days. We rest with dragons on display and coral forms on the seafloor. They line the depths, their secrets kept. So many lives entwined with mine. Wind is whipping round, lifts me off the ground, leads me to my destiny. Sanctuary. I don't have to climb up to it, I don't have to do it. I don't have to hold out hope for a comforting future time. I know this lamp will safely lie in your garden.
Awesome, so good, so good. Look, here's the thing, right? It's the first time I heard you, the deeper voice. I was like, oh my god, that is so Frank Zappa. I just think, why are my balls? You know, I sung the lyrics wrong then, but why does it hurt when I pee? I think that's straight away. Now you would hear that a lot, right? I'm sure you hear people say all the time. You sound like Frank. You remind me of Frank Zappa. Does that please you?
Really? Do they say that? No, all the time.
Does it please you, or does it kind of irritate you?
It doesn't. It doesn't irritate me at all. I think you're going to be compared to someone. I mean, we have to compare people to other things we've experienced in order to have a context.
It's our nature.
And I do get, It's yes, exactly. You need to kind of anchor it. And it does make sense to me. I think we do different things, but it's the comedy with the music, obviously. So I do, and of course, Frank Zappa was absolutely brilliant. So that is a nice thing to say. I respond more to his music than his comedy
Right.
personally,
Yes.
but it's just the comedy could have had a little more depth to it for me, but but the music, I think it's very impressive what he does. I'm actually more influenced by Steely Dan than I am Frank Zappa, but I will take the Frank Zappa reference.
It's an interesting thing, right? As a musician, I'm sure everybody, there's a lot of musicians here in the chat, which we're going to say hello to in a second because it's around that time. You never can gauge exactly what people think of your music. Like as a musician, right, I've heard so many different things people have thrown out and go, you sound like this. I'm like, what? I don't even know who they are, right? People hear things so differently, right? It's like when you try and do a show selling headphones or telling people how headphones work, you can't do it because all our ears are shaped differently and it's going to be different for everybody. How people hear and their lived experience, how they grew up, what they listen to, their influences are going to determine on what they think you sound like. If they've never heard Frank Zappa, they're never going to turn around to you and say, you sound like Frank Zappa, right?
Right, exactly. And the thing is, when I hear that from musicians who I know have actually listened to Frank Zappa and
Yes.
know what Frank Zappa was about, I know that it is a compliment. I mean, absolutely. So, because this is someone, they know of what they speak. I think Frank Zappa is kind of a household name, but how many households actually know what he sounded like or what he did?
True.
But musicians do.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think even people who haven't really listened to a lot of Frank Zappa, there's something that I think they're suggesting when they say that is you're a really talented musician. Because that's the thing that I think about Frank Zappa. Like he was surrounded himself with super talented people from all over the world, right? And that's why his music could do the things that it did.
Right, exactly, yes. And avant-garde,
Yes.
pushing boundaries.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's say hello to folks who are here. Guys, you know the deal. I can't get to all the chat that's gone by. So if you want me to call your name out, type something, anything, call me a dickhead. I don't really care. Just so I can find you in the list and say hello. Laurie's Mishmosh is here. Fat Panda Cat. We got Leela. We got James Myers Drums. We got Cold Acre, I saw. West Plays Music. Kubrick Lover, hello. We've also got Thomas Christ, who's been slinging links all day. Thank you for that. Tremor Bear, Lewis Cook, Gary Hubbs. Who else do I see in the list? As I scroll up, I'm going to run out to Pookie, who's been a member for a really long time as well. Remember, if you are a member here for $1 a month, you get to throw around Dragonsail Puppets emojis today, right? That's how it works. Boomer Bass Meme. Now, I've got to the top of the list. There's no more people, so I'm coming back down here. Prick. Thank you very much, Laurie. That's very nice of you to call me a prick. You know what? You're going to get this for that.
I gotta get off.
You got to get off. Get off. Jenny Jolivet, Russ8889, hello to you, my friend. Justine Kasprick is in the house. Hello to you. I think I've got most of you. If I've missed you, Sunshine, pole vault, yay! That's my best impersonation I can do right now.
That was a good one. That was really good.
I'm losing my mind. I'm becoming pole vault. What is wrong? All right, let's get back to it. I want to talk about your musical skills and such because here in Australia, growing up as a kid, we had a lot of music opportunities in our school. Now, I've lived in America, and I think America's a beautiful place, despite how the internet sells it. But did you have those opportunities at school to take up music? And how early did you start being into music, first instrument, all this kind of stuff?
Yeah, we got to play little flutes there in about the third grade.
So
that was about. Did you play flute?
No, my question normally is after this: did you have to learn the recorder? It's close enough. It's close enough.
I did learn the recorder. Yes, and that's a good place to start. Now, I started off. I had some piano lessons, which I didn't continue as a child. I just because I had to play these other songs, and whenever I'm with an instrument, I just want to make up something.
Right.
And so I would still pick up the piano if I could just do my own little thing, but I didn't want to learn structured songs. But I started off just making up songs, singing them, and kind of beating my chest to do the rhythm, And when I was when I was about 15 or 16, I got a guitar, and someone showed me some basic chords. But for the most part, now that I knew what an A and a D and an E were, I would just sort of start. When I would do my guitar practice, I would inevitably start writing a song. So I said, I'm never going to be a musician, someone who just plays for the love of playing. Like I consider a true musician, someone who does. I consider myself a musical composer because I love to compose with an instrument. That's my interest in it. But that didn't really start until later, 15 to 18. And then I relearned bits of keyboard from transposing the notes from the guitar. But my real thing was when I got my first recording unit, my Ross 4x4 4-track cassette recorder when I was 18, and made some really shitty stuff. However, I did redo all of those songs for the Puppets.
I was going to say,
with different lyrics and
right,
not so shitty. I still have them somewhere. I
Me
would
too.
never let anyone listen to that.
I love that.
You have to keep that stuff. Yeah. I've even kept some stuff and sampled it, because back then there's certain things I could do, like I could play faster, but what I was playing was a shit song, full of the wisdom of a 20-year-old, that sort of thing. So, but I've just gone on from there. I record. I knew you were eventually going to get to recording equipment and all that sort of thing, but now I'm on a 24-track Tascam. I love the Tascam products. So when I put everything into a 24-track Tascam, with my MIDI verb, and that's how I record now.
Nice.
With found objects, my Yamaha keyboard, my guitars, my bass. I still bang on pans.
I love the way you described because about being the type of musician you are. I feel like you just described me. When I tried to have lessons, every time I had lessons for guitar, I was like, I don't want to sound like this dude who I'm learning from.
Right.
I'll just take this and just write songs with it. I don't want to sit there and wank off to people and go, I want to write songs. And, as soon as things changed when I got a 4-track. 4-track changed everything. For those of you who don't know what a 4-track is, I'm sure there's not many because we're all old motherfuckers here.
Right.
But
we know the old equipment.
To get a Tascam 4-track these days on eBay here in Australia, it's like $1,000.
Oh, they're expensive.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because I have all those old tapes. I think I have a box full of all these old tapes. I'd love to hear them because I'm sure they're absolutely dog shit.
No, yes. But it's how you get started. And I mean, it was dog shit, but it was experimental. I will say that. And it was just vomiting out some ideas that I could form into something a little better later on. So my whole life changed once I got that Ross 4x4. It's like I saw a window into what was possible.
So have you? Did you join a band and play with other people, or have you always just played with yourself?
Brief periods of that. Never went very far. I've had a little time on stage with a group, but yeah. Well, first of all, it was all these guys who had families, and it's like they could never get together because there were kids and wives and all that sort of thing. It's like, well, and I didn't have that much in common with that situation, anyways. So it never really panned out, and I always found myself back in my little room, like I always was, on my little rinky-dink recorder.
The lonely life of an eccentric musician with our 4-track and our sordid music.
Yes. Exactly. And now all of us misfit toy island people can find each other on YouTube. That's what is so cool about it.
It is. It's so good.
All the people in your chat, that were in Frank's chat. It's like this is now a community that I couldn't have seen myself being a part of, and we all approach things a little differently. But we do have this in common. This whole being against the grain enough to make your music and your videos and put it on YouTube and have that kind of drive.
It is very old
Is
school. This community, you know,
Mhm.
we I think there's been many channels we try and put our finger on what makes it and how does this thing succeed in a current world where everyone's just yeah. And it just is
Yeah.
that, right? It just is because it's about the music, and it doesn't matter what the skill
Mhm.
level or anything like that. It's just, hey, you be you, and
Yeah.
I got no problem with it, right? You know,
Right.
how does
Right.
a 53-year-old tranny have a channel on YouTube teach people how to make music? I don't know.
Right.
Who cares?
And here, and I can't think of any individual on this planet who is doing exactly what you're doing. It's like that whole combination of things, which I like that, and I get that with a lot of people in this group is that they found their way to be an individual doing pretty much what they want to do, which they could not have done if they tried to get a show on ABC or if they
True.
tried to get a standard recording contract and made themselves miserable working for everybody else.
Yeah, yeah, and before long, you know, you're told to change. It's just a
Yeah.
continued history of the music industry the way it is. So did you have any other projects before this, like something that was the first kind of project? I'm just curious always of what somebody's first band project name was. Was there something before Dragonsail?
Yeah, the Energy Cow. That was my first name.
Yeah,
But
right.
that ended up being a solo thing, as well. But I like
that's
the
all
idea,
right. But what's the
like a
meaning
cow,
behind it?
well, the cow, gives forth milk. The cow is full of potential, so
Right.
it's just energy potential music. That's what it was like.
Nice.
So that there was that. Other stuff will come to me later after you play another song.
Sure.
But yeah, that was the main one.
That's all.
The
I just wanted one. That's all. But, all right. Here's we're gonna get to the meat now, folks. Are you ready? We're gonna find out exactly what this whole Dragonsail thing is all about. So we'll do it this way. I was gonna do the elevator pitch, but we'll do it this way. Say you are walking down the street.
Okay.
You come across somebody. They go, "Hey, I like your hat and that lovely open shirt you have going. You look very fit and nice. A nice man I should talk to. Tell us about this band Dragonsail Puppets. What is it all about? How would you explain it?
I would say the Partridge Family meets Frank Zappa on a boat. And then they make essentially black music that's wrapped up in a white chocolate.
So how does this idea, this whole concept, happen in your head? Walk us through how Dragonsail Puppets becomes a thing. Is it the music first and then the puppets come, or is it the puppets and the story and then the music follows?
Oh, that's interesting. The music is actually separate. Like I said, everything I'm doing now, I've got a lot of music and a lot of stuff is still in the vaults to be released, but it's all my old ideas reworked. So all of that is separate. However, once I started doing the Dragonsail Puppets, like 5 or 6 years ago, and decided, hey, why don't I make them serviceable to my music? Those old songs in the vault, they changed to suit the character of Serinda or the character of Bruce. So they're separate, yet but once they enter the mix, they get altered. And originally, started doing the puppets as a way to showcase my art, like some art that I don't think I can show, but I did for a little bit. I was a painter there to begin with. And so I just said, I'm going to showcase the art with the puppets are going to be talking about the art. And that's how I first started with them. And then at some point I said, well, this is bullshit. Why don't the puppets just need their own show? And they're developing their own personalities. And so eventually, and I've always had a sailing theme in my mind, sailing as a metaphor, I guess, sailing through life. And so I'd heard of a ship called a Dragonsail, and I've always been into dragons. So they were going to be on the club Dragonsail. They're going to be like their little love boat, but they're performing on this ship to all of their passengers and also shooting a live show at the same time.
I love it so much. Now, your art behind you there looks really, really incredible. You
Thank you.
you are an amazing artist. Do you sell
Well,
works
thank
or
you.
not?
Appreciate it. I was. That was my first incarnation. I was selling in galleries and things like that in Tennessee, um, and that's all fine. It's hard. An
Yeah.
artist's life is hard.
Yeah, yeah,
No
yeah.
matter what you do, it's and let's just face it. Making puppet shows is this is a painting for me was a nice way of going inside, listening to music, and just seeing what came out on the canvas. But putting on a show like this where I can write all these scenarios, and all these old books of comedy writings that I had amassed, and I can just pick out little blurbs and form a script out of them. It's like that was I love the quilting aspect of all of that, putting all these disparate elements together.
I love it. Look, and it all makes sense now. I'm starting to get the picture. Seeing your art, like obviously you are very, very talented, and yeah,
Well, thank you.
I've got a lot of artist friends. I grew up with a lot of painters and have been through galleries with them and warehouses, galleries, and he like one of the major ones I grew up with, Christian. I had him on the show, interviewed him here. He found music and he found a way to integrate his art into music, and he became a very avant-garde, extreme trip hop metal artist who played in warehouses and all this kind of stuff, and found a way to
Mhm.
integrate that art into this thing that is indescribable. And I love that. So I love knowing that you come from. Are you still painting regularly or not?
No, I don't multitask very well. So if I'm doing the puppet, and especially since the puppets is such a varied task thing anyway, there's the music, there's the costuming the puppets, there's the writing and all of that. So I think most of my aesthetic stuff is costuming the puppets, the film editing. I sort of paint through film now, I guess is how you would say.
So do you have a team or somebody else who helps you with the puppets, and how like what goes into like constructing the original puppets? Just from your recollection of designing the characters, sitting them down and going, all right, this one's going to be this one's going to be. How do you like turn that into from an idea and the material that you use to do this? Because they all look so different from each other, and they all have their own character. I guess that's a really hard thing to do as a puppeteer.
Well, first of all, I will introduce my puppet partner, Chris Walters, who's in the other room listening. So
Hi,
I have to say
Chris.
something. No, but he did the wet garden video. I did the shooting of it and all of that. But he put that together. If it's something more complex, that he's the one who's putting that stuff together. He taught me how to. We learned how to do the green screen stuff, and he taught me the basics of film editing so that I could do the variety shows. Um, so he's I this wouldn't be without his input, without him helping me figure out how to do all this. Now, in terms of making the puppets, these are the original puppets I had when I was a child. When I was 5 years old. My mother made one of them, and
Wow.
actually three of them, because the dog puppets were actually they came from a source as intact puppets, but they had to be replaced over the years. So now
Right.
they have new ears, new eyes, new nose, new mouth. So, but the husk of them, all of them, is from when I was a child.
That
And I
makes
did
it
make a
even more
couple.
awesome. That makes it so much more
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, so I just put wigs on them, and I gave Serinda two golf balls for booze, and I just slung them up together in a sock and taped them to her back. So now that's why she looks so stacked. And I go to Goodwill, I'll go to thrift stores, and I find interesting fabrics that the band can wear and that Serinda can wear and all that. And I just, I costume them, with safety pins and very minimal stitching because I'm not good at that. But
It's basically a fucking drag show, isn't it?
it is a DIY drag show, but isn't everything.
Everything is, of
When
course
you
it
come
is.
down to it, it's just a different.
Held together with tape and pins. That's a fucking drag show.
That's life. Yeah. What's your presentation today?
I miss drag shows. I haven't been to one for a while. They're evil now, apparently. They're evil. I've never experienced an evil drag show in my life, but whatever.
And yeah, Tennessee. Well, Tennessee, where I am, has had we have such fucking idiots in our politics, but
We do.
uh,
Yeah.
won't go into all of
No,
that.
no, no.
But yeah, drag show. I say, yeah, keep them coming, and keep them evil.
Yeah, let's play another song, and then we're going to come back and we're going to meet the stars of the show, the puppets, and we're going to delve further into the music. So we're playing next. Let me make sure we're all got this lined up good. We're playing Night Cries next. So grab on the ankles, folks. You ready to go? Les Nagy, I see you there. Let's do it. This is Night Cries. I think we're all good. Let's do it.
Silence and terrifies. A little time to forget it all. You wanna know? Not just imagine or suppose. Oh, it's the water in the way. The bodies wanna fall, the bodies wanna fall, the bodies wanna fall. Anytime soon. Destruction and explosion. These things that grow, they're lost and out there. Oh, you can't track back, so down the road you go. Follow the night cries, follow the night cries. Oh. The rock they flame at nightfall. Pour the crucibles of your flesh. You wanna know? Deep inside your dark, right from the edges to the heart. The shadows are projected from within. You almost never were, but now you are. You can't track back, so down the road you go. Follow the night cries, follow the night cries, oh. Night cries, we might believe in a comforting time where we all find together and arise. Down the road, there are clearly voices here, and like you wanna lay right alone. Wish to be late. You better live by fire with vodka. Raise out the serpent and wait out the storm. But the storm intensifies, so we're joining the night cries, joining the night cries. From the edges to the heart, travel with me to the dark.
I love that I didn't even need to hit the applause button for that. It was built into the track.
Oh, that's right. That's from their show, yes. And if you want applause, be sure to add your own.
Yeah, exactly. That was awesome. Look, I love that you've sent me these tracks. You can hear the progression of the production of the music getting better too over the time. From the first track to that. So I listen to that stuff anyway. Look, that was so cool. That was so rad.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes. That one to me felt very 70s, so I wanted to definitely include that one in. It just felt like a 70s kind of song to me. So
you are such a talented musician. Now, I know I'm talking about the puppets and all that stuff here, but you are just this this is all you. Am I right or wrong here?
Right.
There's
Yeah,
no other
it's all
extra.
me.
There's no extra musicians who come in and do guest spots or anything.
No, it's just me and my little 5-year-old chamber, doing my cartooning. It's still just me.
You are just an incredible artist, and
Thank you.
it blows my mind. It restores my faith in music that there are people out there who have these little caves and can create these worlds, and it's so different than everything, right? In a world that, again, we've talked about this as we've gone on. Everything's so homogenized and bland, and I just find so much joy in it. Have you had people like, we kind of said that it's like the Muppets on crack in a way, but have you had people get offended by anything?
Amazingly, not so much. I keep waiting for it, and I'm not sure exactly what aspects of it they would get offended by, unless they were really fundamentalist Christian or something like that, or well, but I mean, I think it's just on the edge of indiscretion. A lot of it, so, and I like riding the edge.
We kind of talked about this off air, that like I mentioned at the start, one of my favorite films of all time is this film by Peter Jackson who made Lord of the Rings. But back in the day, he had these 3 early films that were puppets and stuff. And his second one, Meet the Feebles, is like the Muppet Show with gore and heroin. And it's so fucked up. And it kind of reminds me of this, but not as offensive.
Right. It's sort of like it could be for, I guess it's a little more PG-13, but it's, there's a certain line, like we talked before, I consider them more blue than I do out and out offensive. Which is why when Serinda comes out and calls Catatonia a bitch, it kind of comes out of nowhere. It's a little bit of a surprise. It's like a bit of pepper, in the recipe, because the rest of it has been a little more tamped down, but it's in like a pressure cooker. It's like, it's always just a little wrong. Something, it's just a little askew there. It's not Barney. It's not the Muppet Show. It's, and also I put in all of my philosophy stuff, all my philosophical thoughts, but I put it in this kind of weird drag show of a Muppet Show.
Has there been a time when you're putting together a song or, even a clip and you've thought, ooh, that's too far. You've had to pull back on some things. Do you self-censor yourself? I guess that's what I'm asking.
Yeah. I kind of avoid the word censor. I know what you're talking about, but it's sort of like I sometimes I have to make an executive decision that this doesn't feel like the flavor of the Puppets. It's like Chris and I came up with something recently, which was basically like, in the end, you end up hate fucking all of your heroes, which I think would be really fun. Which would be really funny for Serinda to say, but it would have to be Serinda after hours, because I don't really use the fuck word on the Puppet Show, because it's a bit more of a broad audience than that.
And before
I use words that are kind of like it.
Yeah, right. And before we went on here, we were just talking general stuff about the world and stuff, and about woke and this kind of stuff. And we mentioned this a couple of times about context, right? You can be offensive, and like I went last night to see a comedy show by this comedian called Jimmy Carr. And a lot of the jokes were about pedophiles and I'll beat myself, about SA, about handicapped people. There was it was rough. There was a whole section on trans people, which I loved so much, because I have this take. If you're gonna want to integrate into the world as a trans person, you want to be accepted, then you have to be a part of the joke as well.
Right,
because that's
exactly.
true. That's true acceptance ultimately, right? That's the thing. But even in his really dark humor, where the places he went were so dark, the jokes were so dark, he had all these philosophical stuff that was like, oh my God, dude, you are so deep and so compassionate and all this. And I guess where I'm getting with this is you're I don't know how, you're writing music from yourself. This is coming from you, Greg, but you're channeling it through these characters. So
Mhm.
it's kind of like being a little bit schizophrenic. You've got to think about these individual characters and how they're going to interpret your words and what the message is you're trying to say. How hard is that to do that, to multitask these opinions through these characters?
Well, it's now when you're talking about just the music part, that I really only have the issue with Bruce and Serinda, who are the singers, because I just imagine Catatonia can do whatever she wants with her keyboard. She plays with her face. She's got all kinds of freedom there. Bruce, which is my regular singing voice, it's innate to me.
It's very sexy.
Oh well, thank you. but he's but the thing is, Bruce is adult. He has no idea what he's singing. I mean, he's funny, but he's just not very smart. He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand a word he's saying, but the words have philosophical meanings to them, and so it's sort of like I can't make Bruce sound too smart, but I also have to sing this so that the words have meaning. So that's the teetering edge I'm always doing with Bruce. And Serinda, I can do her, but I have to do Bruce's vocal first because then my voice is up enough, it's relaxed enough, I can get up higher. And Serinda just has a point of view about things. And there are I'll be writing the lyrics to a song or I'll be singing a song, getting it ready, and I'm thinking, okay, Serinda has totally taken over this song, so it's going to change what I write in the lyrics. It's going to change, of course, obviously the range, where I go with this. But Serinda, her vocals to me feel like a possession, to be melodramatic. Bruce feels more natural, but Serinda, I swear something comes in and swoops in and takes over during the recording process.
Boomer Bass Meme asks here, or are the puppets different facets of your personality?
Yes, Boomer, and you're right. We do need more leopard print. I saw your earlier comment, but they absolutely are, and they're kind of. I'm not to get too philosophical, but there are 4 different personality types that someone set out. The Golden Girls actually have those same 4 personality types, and I think for a lot of successful shows. You have to have those 4 personality types there. And Henri, he's the sweet-natured, go-along, kind of pleasant type. And then there's Bruce, which is the sensation-seeking kind of type. And then there's Serinda, who is the disciplined, driven, sometimes can be a little brusque, but they get things done. And then there's Catatonia. Oh, that's the melancholic type, which is someone who not just melancholy, but kind of lives in a deep world, insular world. It's you have to come to them, and it's the more intellectual type. And I definitely have all 4 of those types, and I definitely needed some way to channel them. And those puppets are my 4 personalities altogether.
How amazing that that you are able to do that. Let's come back. We'll hold that thought. I need to run an ad from our sponsor because today's show is sponsored by our dear friends up there for DistroKid. So let me run this ad and we'll be back in just a moment. You ready, folks? Let's do it. This presentation is proudly sponsored by DistroKid. Introducing DistroKid, your ultimate music distribution solution. For just $29.99 a year, DistroKid empowers you to release unlimited tracks on all major music platforms worldwide, including Spotify, Apple Music, TikTok, and so many more. Plus, use my link distrokid.com/VIP/JadeStarr and get 7% off your first year. You'll also keep 100% of your royalties and gain access to valuable tools like instant verification on Spotify and detailed revenue analytics. Don't let your music go unheard. Join DistroKid today and take your music career to the next level. Thank you, DistroKid, for sponsoring today's presentation. Absolutely. Thank you so much, DistroKid, for your continued support. And folks, if you are thinking about using, releasing music, do it through DistroKid. Use my link. It helps me, helps you. You get a discount. Everything's good. And at the end of the day, I love you, DistroKid. Anyway, that's, I shouldn't do that too many times. They're probably going to sack me for doing that shit. Now, I'm going to go head over here to our the website because this is, if you didn't know, folks, so Dragonsail Puppets has a wonderful website here. If I can load it up, we all good? Is my internet working? Maybe. There we go. It is loading. So I love this, and I'm going to flick through here. So there we've got the puppets. We've got the whole story here, which is just, you have a really nice website, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Enjoy special underwater episode of Dragonsail Puppets variety show. We'll talk more about the variety shows we get in here. Surrender. This is Surrender. And
she's very proud of that costume.
She is a babe. Look at that necklace. It is just...
She is a babe, I have to say. She knows it. She's a babe.
Has she ever worn a pearl necklace?
Yeah. Oh, yes. In more ways than one.
I got to be quick on that. So there is Surrender, this Catatonia, and dude, these puppets are so delightful.
Thank you.
So if you want to get the full story, you can come to the website and see all of this. It's so well presented. Bruce, the sexual demon of voice. I mean, a young adult dog with the spirit of a puppet, fairly limited range of intellectual pursuits. Sounds like every young guy on this planet at the moment.
Pretty much, yeah.
They are just wonderful. So do yourself a favor. And then we've got Henri. And I have to say, I love in the video clips seeing the head hitting the keyboard and playing. Every time I see it, I laugh my head off. I think it is just wild. It's so good. So if you haven't been over here, I mean, have a look at this website. It is just so beautifully put together. And it's very simple. Spotify links, all this, Bandcamp, all the links are in the description, folks, if you want to go and check out music. Look, the other thing I was going to say is you are very, very organized with this stuff. It looks like, I can't imagine... Well, I'm going to ask you, how much time does it take to put all this together? Because your music is all up on streaming services. It's all really well laid out, Spotify, all that stuff. The website's very pro, Bandcamp. This is a passion, isn't it? This is something you really...
It is an absolutely driving life passion. I can definitely say this is what I was meant to do, to be microcosmic about it. Chris Walters helps a lot with all of the organization of things, like getting things on Bandcamp and CD Baby, going through the. I mean, I know DistroKid. DistroKid's great too, but getting it distributed and all that sort of thing. So the organization thing, he is indispensable with all of that. So he's in there. He's in that other room, patting himself on the back.
He is the cow now. He's the cow forever.
He is the energy cow. Yes, he has taken that on.
No, but it does take a lot of work, and these days, as an artist, you are expected not only to make the music, make the images, do the social media stuff, the posts on Instagram, the reels, the shorts, the advertising. It is a lot. And back in the day, you would sign to somebody, they'd try and control you, they do all this stuff for you. And then before long, people are like, hang on a minute, I don't even know who I am anymore. So we live in a time now where we have complete control over who we are, what we say, and how we're taken. So it's really only our fault if because we're our own marketing team.
Exactly. Yeah. It's the price you pay for freedom, is that you're going to do it all yourself. And you will not have the same amount of distribution and promotion, obviously, because you're not going to have the team. But maybe you won't die early from stress and all these drugs you have to take to keep you performing, because other people have a financial stake in you. So there's that side of it. I think I'd rather have it be this way, and touch whatever lives I touch with what I do. And I'm sure you would too, because I know I look at what all you've done. I said, I'm going to do a deep dive into Jade Starr too, while he's doing his deep dive into me, get ready for the show. And it's like, my God, the range of what you do. And I feel like you do all of this, right? I mean, the streaming, the organization of all of this. This is Jade Starr's stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, like yourself, this is years of not doing
Right.
this and touring and having the record label screw me and getting done over and having all the bad things that happen to you as a musician, right? Playing the gigs and having the owner try and give you drugs instead of this, becoming a drug addict, all the stuff, right? You got to pay your dues before you know who you are, how to do it, right? And then you kind of can speak on it. So this is just the culmination of all of that knowledge sitting here. You know,
Exactly.
and you're going to do things wrong. Absolutely. You never, no matter how much knowledge you build up, or how many skills you get, you're still going to fuck up. You're still going to make mistakes. And like I say here on this channel, mistakes make you better. Like, make them. Keep making them. It means you're alive.
Well, yeah. Right, exactly. Well, you're learning new things. The technology's changing. And if you're growing and you're curious enough to grow, you're going to make mistakes, missteps. And that is, of course, that's exactly how you get to the next level, what you're doing.
So in relation to the puppets and all of the stuff around it, is there a lot of maintenance behind it? Like, are you constantly, you know, finding new costumes and trying to come up with ideas, and even the current things, like, because these things, it's like anything, right? You run a business, people, I guess, don't think like this. Any kind of business, it comes to tax time and you've got depreciation, right? Your gear's dying, things break. Depreciation.
Yeah, I mean, so far, most of my instruments have held up well, but I've had to get some new stuff, have to get some new, you know, the chords, things that, you know, and I've had to replace certain bits of technology. But now I still love going to the thrift stores and getting ideas for Serinda and the band and all that. So I have a closet full of clothes that will be in eventual episodes, but it's just, but that part of it, that changing part of the process, I really enjoy. I like the fact that I know it's going to be totally different from what I can possibly imagine, because I'm going to go into that closet, open it up, and say, okay, well, this outfit I got from Goodwill is going to inspire an entire new episode, you know, and I change course accordingly.
Fat Panda Cat has a very good point here. Merch would be sweet. It's action figures. Oh,
well,
wow.
Yeah, that's the next thing, right?
So you've thought about it?
Well, don't you have to have like a certain amount of people to make that worthwhile, or, you know, to do that sort of thing? I don't know. I mean, I know I could probably pick the brains of a lot of people in this community who have merch and say, you know, what's the cheapest way to go about this sort of thing. But, you know, I would love to be able to manufacture like actual puppets themselves, you know, but I have a hard enough time. I've tried to, they're hard to reproduce. I don't know how I could do it in a way that stays true to the character itself. And, you know, but
I would love
I guess
action
anything's
figures.
possible today.
Action figures
But you
would be
want action
amazing.
figures.
Oh, yeah, like the what do they call those things with the big heads? The Funko,
The bobblehead?
a Funko Pop version of them all. Would be,
Funko Pop version.
that would be so cool. Well, this is the thing with Funko Pops. I mean, there's so many Funko Pops, even people who you have no idea who they are. You're like, who is this? How did they get a Funko Pop? Right? It seems like anyone can get a Funko Pop, so it's not out of the realm.
I have. Well, it'll go on the list once I really figure out what a Funko Pop is.
Right. Let's play another song, guys. We're going to play a song called Slow Rain. And
Excellent.
we'll talk about it. We'll actually talk about this clip when we come back, right? So let's do it now. Slow Rain by Dragonsail Puppets, the Doja.
Around the shells, your warm breath steaming Yes or no, doesn't matter. Your fever takes a pattern in the slow rain falling, deep light pouring on all remembered things. Dashing on leave inside me till the clouds clear. What do you do with passion now that it leaves you sad? Sneak in the slow rain falling, deep light pouring on all remembered things. Probable still bucks inside you, but you've lost much of what you had. In the slow rain falling, deep light pouring more delicate than wings. So you don't like the form it takes. Let's see what you made. contains a ghost, and you only make the curse worse by wandering, searching dreams toward a future you've complicated. Haunting boats and broken gates, splintering mosaic, showers of rain, pickpocket moving and shadowing everything. Power in your mind, hidden in time. Finally found every traveler in the night.
Wow. No, and there's so much going on in there too. Like, look, let's talk about the music first. Beautiful guitar playing. There's so much happening in there. Like, again, it's interesting. When you went on Frank's show, they played just the music. And that was really new for me, just hearing the music, right? And because you're used to so much, it's a package. It feels like a package to me. And seeing that again now, that video clip in particular, Boomer pointed out too, just the stuff that if you look really closely, like in the background, you've got this percussionist way off in the background and just a little...
With the construction crew.
Yeah. There's so many little things that are going on in there that would take, I know myself and anybody who makes video clips like this, a lot of fucking time. So if for something like that, how much time would you say was invested into that clip in particular?
That's really hard to say because, like the backgrounds are generated from Midjourney. So there's that. There's actually writing the music, which was originally done in 1990, and then revamped, and then the recording of it, the filming of the puppets. Oh God, if I were to start from scratch, what would it take? About 3 days to do? It's like, if I started just from scratch, but like you said, it's a whole life that goes into all of this.
3 days is fast. That's really fast. So that sounds like you.
That's working intensely on.
Yeah. Do you think you've honed, like, obviously with anything, you start out doing this kind of stuff and the original stuff you do take is like a mountain and seems like it's never going to end, but you get better, right? You hone in on it and you have templates and the ability to make things a bit easier.
You do definitely have the templates. You have a way of doing things. It's like, and putting together the entire episodes, like there are set backgrounds anyway for them. And and so I know pretty much how to put each segment together now with little changes on top. So you're right. So there is an underlying structure, which helps a lot.
It's something.
But there with that,
yeah.
I was going to say with that one, like I had to learn how all the different things in Final Cut Pro that allow you to add, subtract, multiply all in the filters section. So I was really experimenting with how to change them, how to make them more transparent and blending into their background.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. I just want to say hi to Doug, Shelley, and see you later, Wes, who has to duck out. It's one thing I do try and push here on this channel, even with making music, right? I've harped on it a long time. Creating templates, creating even with music, right? Going into your Logic, whatever you use, and creating a template that has your set guitar sound, bass sound. So when you start a new project, you keep consistency, right? Because that's one of the not only in making music, in doing YouTube, in doing anything, right? Consistency is key. Of course, you've got to have content. And it's got to be as good as you can make it, but consistency matters, right? The sound has to be consistent with what you've just done, or at least better, right?
Right, exactly. Well, at the very least, you have to know what the levels are for the bass. Yes. It's like I know I go up to this point, or I go up to this point. I know to do this much mix, of the to give the reverb, but not too much reverb. So a lot of it is just setting the controls, and within that, once you have that structure, you can go a little wild.
Especially because you have multiple characters, right? It's like anyone who's worked in an engineering in a studio. You've got a guitarist, you've got a drummer, you've got to get to know their personalities, and you have to pull the best performance out of them. Amazingly, it's all you. So, but you still have to have that consistency with the characters and their vocals. You want it to Bruce to sound beautifully deep, the way you've got that voice going on, and the right effects for it, and all of that.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Yeah, exactly. I have to know how far to keep the mic so that Bruce doesn't get distorted, which is different from Surrender. I actually have to hold the mic differently for them. And this has taken a lot of learning, from the very beginning. So, and I feel like my 15 albums in, I kind of have it now, where to place myself in relation physically in space to everything.
I'm always interested in the fuck ups. Do you have, like, I'm sure you would have a catalog of videos of just shit that goes wrong when you're recording. Shit falling over, like puppets, maybe an eye
Oh,
falls
I
off.
keep all that stuff in. Oh, yeah, I keep all that stuff in. In fact, like Catatonia, the cat, she has these glasses that every so often I'll have them in there, and it especially works when she's drunk. I never know when the glasses are going to fall off her face. But that's just I leave all of that stuff in. Or like Serenda's wig slips, that's luckily it's a comedy show,
Yeah,
and I
right.
keep all that stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's the best part.
Now, speaking of being at a show as well, so you have a variety show on the channel as well, and you celebrate. Did you celebrate? You've got an anniversary coming up, don't you?
Yes.
Yes. Tell
It
us
was
about
the
that.
50. They just had their 50th Dragonsail Puppets variety show. Now, before that, when I was first doing the puppets as a show, they had a season 1 and a season 2. And season 1 was just getting to know the puppets. It was actually me getting to know them episode by episode and creating them along the way. And by season 2, their personalities were deepening. Their situations were. I understood what kind of situations to put them in. And I've also done collaborations with a lot of great people, in the community. So they're in a separate section under music videos, and also just separate music videos from the albums. But a lot of their music, the videos, like each variety show will have probably 2 music videos in it, along with the comedy segments. So, and they just go along with whatever album I've released at the time.
I love this. So you guys have homework to go back and see. I do too. I need to go back and see the introduction of you getting to, because that's it. Getting to know the characters, and I find that stuff very, very fascinating. To the relationship that you have with them. It's one of the thing about I've watched a lot of Jim Henson stuff over the years, and listening to puppeteers, how they've grown with their characters, and it's super fascinating. Right. Super fascinating to because you are birthing something. You're spitting something out of your old box.
Yes, you sure are. You're spitting it out, and you don't know where it's going to go or how far. But it's like just different things. Like I learned more and more how to turn the head.
Yep.
In order to have an expression for the puppet. You keep learning that. That's ongoing.
Yeah, and I do love that. Like watching over the years, like even Frank Oz, Jim, he did voices, but Jim Henson, like you can see the progression in the way puppeteering has gone for him. Like, the Muppets are a thing, 70s. It moves to Star Wars, we get Yoda, all this kind of stuff. And to the point that modern day, even with Star Wars, right, they went very digital and started using these digital characters. It didn't fly. And now with the latest films, even though they suck, they went back to that old school puppeteering thing because technology's changed as well too. As much as technology has changed digitally, so has the craft of puppeteering and real authentic effects.
The technology of puppets themselves, they've changed. We have done some AI experimentation with could we do an AI version of the puppets? Now, AI does not understand puppet faces, so I think Serinda, for right now, her job is safe. But also, for me personally, it's just where I'm at. I can't do anything really expensive, but I also like the fact that the puppets look homemade. They look like they came from a 5-year-old's toy box. There's that homespun quality along with a certain kind of sophistication and the concerns of the writing, and the music. It's like, it's not all just thrown together, but the puppets themselves can look kind of thrown together with, safety pins holding them all together. I like that duality. I like the homespun nature of it. That's still the crudeness along with the, I guess you'd call sophistication.
AI is great at some things, but you're right. This is the thing with AI, right? It's not intelligent. It's just a collation of data points that it draws from to try and spit out. It's passing the language to best knowledge it has that we've fed into it. Like I've tried to. I'm working on a video clip at the moment for my band Metheist, which I've shot all the stuff practically in front of a green screen, but then some stuff I didn't get filmed. So I was like, oh, maybe I could just take an image of that, put it into AI and see if I can animate it a bit. But it starts out okay, but then as soon as you start extending it, and then, oh my God, what has it turned into? That's not the thing that I started with. It loses its mind. And, lately I've been using Grok only because Grok allows you to push the level of extreme. You can put blood in it. You can get you can have people having sex in it even. It's pretty crazy. But even that, as soon as you mention the word penis, it goes, oh, no. But then if I say bulge in underwear, it does a penis.
Right. It depends on how it feels that day.
Yeah, exactly, right.
It's so random. Yeah, I've used stuff like that. And I've used some AI just in clips where AI always looks like a fuck up to me when I try to do something. It's just, I don't even go into it with set ideas of how things should look. I just put it out there and see, well, let's see what you come up with. And then I put it in as a joke mostly, right. because fuck up works well for the puppets. So here's a fucked up idea of a city flooding, and we'll call it New Orleans, with all these, it wasn't supposed to be a bunch of cars floating around in a big soupy mess, but I'll use it and say it's Sorrento visits New Orleans.
It cost me so many credits to generate it. I might as well fucking use it. Right?
You got to use it somehow. Right.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. All right. I love asking this question. So who was your gateway drug to finding us, to finding this YouTube bonkers community full of fucking weirdos that we have here?
I really think, first off, it was Icy Monkeys.
Right.
I don't know if you know Icy Monkeys. Yes. He found me first. I don't know how the algorithm just found me there. And from him, and I did some collaborations with him as well, but I found Colorful Energy and I found G-May.
Yes.
And then all the people G-May was working with, I've worked with G-May, and we did a lot of fun stuff like Groove Trek, and got Lisa Noel's a part of that, and Mamsie Graham was in there. And just so many people, and I guess it just kept going from there. So I would attribute it first to Icy Monkeys.
I see G-May was here earlier. I'm not sure if he's still here. I remember the first time we found G-May, it was just random. Like somehow we just landed and we're in a chat room, me and my friends Russ and Brad and a whole bunch of us, and we just landed on this channel. It was way before he was integrated into, and we were just like, what the fuck is going on here? What is happening?
Right.
And he's got Groove Trek running, and he comes back and he's like, well, it's Saturday night, we're having a good time. And then he's playing guitar and he's doing these runs going, blah, 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 and we're like, what is this? We need more. I just became addicted. We were there every week. And then slowly some of us from this community started going on there, and G-May is like runs some of the most amazing festivals. He is such a sweet human.
He's such, a sweetheart of a guy, obviously. And just, he is a community builder.
Yes.
I saw that right. I mean, he is, I consider him a nucleus for so much. It's hard to know who would be the true nucleus of all of this. But there are several nucleuses along the way, but he has really joined a lot of artists together. And I think he's the reason why a lot of us know each other.
I do love that he is a gateway, and he says Frank Chorizo as well too. Frank Chorizo,
yes,
Chorizo,
Frank Chorizo.
He's the best. I've had him on here a number of times, and he's just a gun. Let's play another song because we're running out of time. We've only got 18 minutes left. We're going to play Young Fresh. Right. Are you ready, guys? This is Young Fresh Dragonsail Puppets. Let's go.
When he stands, he breathes a crest of steam. Prickles in his heart says, yes, I'm coming. And the master of the house says, it's good to have you there. Yes, my sir. Yes, my sir. Yes, my sir. He answers. That's how I sweat beats a little breezy. Sticks his own hand, wonders where it's been. Stereo sheet, but the sins are so green. sun shine on, but soon enough you'll be crawling up the stairs. You'll be the shadow on the cracking plaster wall. You'll be the moisture on the grave. You'll be the delicately tainted words keep drifting through the cell. I'm master of the flesh, sweet your flesh, be the master of the house and feel free to feel free. But you're only here because of me. Huh. That's right. All received, so sweet, all the dreams designed to be believed, so fresh. Oh, it's a promise of you. It's like you beg to be consumed. I've seen the beauty of your deeds, the ground they see, the desires they feed, and I know the end of the run, huh? But it's up to you to say no. Sweet, young, fresh, has some ugly evening in his veins. He's got word for the masters of today. Lift my golden wings at your arrow. Don't try to use your words to muck my sheen. You'll do better to marvel at the beauty of the simple thing. Snakes in the fog down the winding drive. Looks up at the dome with its frosty light. It makes it tough to me to be the warm in this cold gray place. Bed and spill on the dried up bed. Stick to the perch, play the ooze and the dread. Keeping the night and the day, he make the most of what was left. Now sweet young fresh is the master calling from the stairs. Tickled on the tips of his belly hairs. His body now light and giddy, reeling down the hall. His soul rushing to the door takes him by surprise. All to win his goosebumps to hide. This random flow he hadn't anticipated at all.
The expression at the end.
Serinda's having a dramatic moment there.
It's amazing, right? How something, so held together with pins can do all that, can sing, and then at the end have this expression that you just go. It's amazing. You know, I love it. The first time I saw that, I thought I was at the Sydney Mardi Gras.
Oh,
Your
yes.
outfit was very Sydney Mardi Gras.
Oh. I just pulled it out of my dad's closet.
Like I have Metheist, I have a full bondage mask with zips and a straight jacket made of leather, and I used to work as a dominatrix. What can I say? So I love a good leather costume. Let me tell you that.
You use what you have, absolutely.
Exactly right. Raid the wardrobe, and let's see how we go.
Yes.
As we said, folks, look, everything's held together with pins and tape. It just is what it is, right?
Exactly.
So all the music is available on Bandcamp, links in the description, all of it on streaming services if you want to go that route. And who knows, maybe we'll get some T-shirts and merch available soon. I'm sure it's on the list. I need to ask, what is the... I hate asking too far in advance, right? Because nobody can plan their life that far. What do you see just for the next 6 months? What do you see for this project?
Well, interestingly enough, I work a year in advance.
Right. Good.
Because you just never know what's going to happen. Plus, I'm kind of obsessed,
Yep.
I guess you would say. So I just want to keep working on it. They will continue with the variety shows. They will continue with the music videos. I think I delve a little bit more into AI in terms of just backgrounds, just the potential that Midjourney will give me. But it's just going to continuing on. And, Serinda has an agony aunt outing. She has an advice segment that she does, the Ask Serinda segment. So she will continue doing those, giving advice to save the world. So it'll just continue on.
Lovely. I used to use Midjourney when I first started. When AI first happened here on this channel, I did tutorials for Midjourney. I like to think I was kind of right in front of the curve with AI. I don't. I still subscribe, but I tend to not use it. I use Grok now because, my Lord, the realism of Grok is so good. It's just a shame. It's super expensive. It's very expensive a month.
Right,
it's like $30, but you get a lot of generations. You never run out ever. I do because I make a lot of porn, but that's another story.
Is that a side project that's not on YouTube that we all need to know about?
Exactly, is a side project that nobody needs to see.
Nobody.
No, just me. That is a private thing. I need to cover a few things of what's coming up here on this channel, guys, to let you know what is happening, because there is some pretty exciting stuff. Today I dropped a demo on the channel just to let you know. This video dropped for the Mighty Synth Sampler by Moby Pixel. It's free. It works on your iOS devices, works on your Mac as well. It's completely free. It is so good. One of the best apps that has come out this year, I must say. So check that out. Tomorrow we've got something special happening here, a live stream, continue our series on vlogging. I'm going to discuss what I take out when I do film my Walk With Me vlog, take you around Melbourne and Australia, showing you all these great destinations. And we will probably have an announcement tomorrow because something big is coming here, not on this channel. So maybe the announcement will be tomorrow. I've been working really hard behind the scenes for the last 2 weeks to get this new thing off the ground. I'm very excited about it, so hopefully you can join us for that. All the regular fare and stuff, app demos, interviews, all this kind of stuff will continue on. The last question I ask everybody on this show before I say goodbye and thank you for being here is, Greg, if somebody was considering becoming creative, when would be the best time for them to start?
Well, absolutely right now, and create with whatever you have in your pantry. It was whatever's there, and just get started. And if at some point you say, well, this isn't enough, well, then you know the next thing you need to buy to create something new. I think creative people, honestly, though, you either are or you aren't. I mean, everyone is creative to a certain extent, but if you're asking, how do I become an artist? Some people ask that question. It's like, I'm thinking of becoming an artist. How can I do that? I'm thinking, well, you kind of either are or you aren't. But everyone can be creative. I think if you have the drive in you, it's just in you and it's got to come out. So uh, just start now. And why let anything or anyone hold you back if you want to do something? Because if you can share it or not share it, but if it's in you and it has to come out, then you're only going to make yourself happier by letting it.
True. And again, like I started doing this vlogging how-to thing last week, and the first thing is you've got a phone.
Right.
You're
Start
already,
with the phone.
You're already good to go. And most people start with
Yeah.
the phone, even like live streaming, and they're still using a fucking phone. The tools you have are normally enough. And once you start buying a lot of stuff, I find you get less creative.
I think you do too. Well, you're managing the stuff.
Yeah.
Is what you're doing.
Yeah.
And these phones have amazing cames. I have to say,
They sure do.
they can be better than expensive cameras that you buy and have to maintain and learn how they work. So, as long as you just have to learn how to use what you have.
I want to thank you for coming on here. You are an incredibly talented, incredibly humble, and sweet human being. It has been a pleasure to get to know you. I love what you do. I wish there were more people as eccentric and as kind and well-spoken and just you're a very, very decent human being. And that's rare in this world at the moment. So
I very much appreciate that, Jade. I've enjoyed being on the show. I'm honored that you wanted me to be on the show, and I think you and I would hang out really well together. Well, we did, Justin, but I think we could talk for days.
I look forward to a continued friendship like I do with everybody here who's been on the show and everybody in this community, right? So, folks, do the right thing. Go and click the links. Go and support Greg and the puppets and just do the right thing. Give him some views. Go and watch some playlists. Just do the right thing. It helps everybody involved.
Thank you, Jay.
We are going to go out today with Desert Drift. Is this, how new is this one?
Brand new. It was just released. This is another one that Chris did he did all the film editing on it, and I just gave him the bare stuff to work with.
And let's not forget,
so
Chris.
It's complicated.
We love you too, Chris. We can't forget Chris as well. So
that'll scare the shit out of it.
Awesome. Hey, thank you, Pookie, for the kind donation as we close the show. And thank you all for being here today and hanging out, offering questions and being supportive as you always do. It's just a pleasure to have you all here. And also, thank you to DistroKid for sponsoring the show once again. We're going to close with Desert Drift. And please hang on the line so I can say goodbye to you once the show closes out. Pete Johns is up next. I'll dump you over to him. Straight after this, you'll get dumped. And let's do it. Do the things that make you happy, folks. Mistakes make you better, and we will all rise together. All right.
Thanks, Jade.
See you later. Let's Oge, baby.
Desert I will dream. and there will be a passageway open unto me, and it'll speak only of its joy. Try singing in the steam, it tells me of its joy. Try singing in the steam. Try singing in the steam, it tells me of its joy. Try breathing into me. I receive all my breath is taken up and I'm drifting, and there's joy inside of me. Feels kind of light, feels kind of free. And when the thunder explodes, holds a desert in its toe, and there is joy. And when a oasis receives the storm is our reprieve, it fills its banks with all we need. Try singing in the steam, it tells me of its joy. Try singing in the steam. Try singing in the steam. It seems to me that when the waves of the